Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, for 10 years the Republicans have kept hardworking Americans away from an increase in the minimum wage. Over 7 million people who get up in the morning every day and go to work all day long, all week long, all month long, and all year long. And at the end of that year, they end up in poverty. At the end of that year, they end up with the inability to provide for their families. For 10 years, the Republicans have fought an increase in the minimum wage. For 10 years, the Republicans have made it the official policy of this country that people who get up and go to work every day will end up in poverty. It's a poverty wage, and the Republicans are proud of it. The majority leader boasts that he's fought this his entire public life, and yet these people are stuck at 1950 wages. But what's not stuck at 1950 is the price of groceries, the price of gasoline to go to work, the price of housing, and the price of health care. There's no relief for these hardworking Americans. There's no relief from their families because the Republicans refuse to entertain a clean vote on the minimum wage. A clean vote so 7 million Americans could start to have an increase in their yearly take-home pay. That's what the Republicans refuse. There's 72 hours left in this session. The Republicans can decide to do the decent thing to provide a minimum wage increase for hardworking Americans, but the Republicans won't do that because they're not a party of decency.
The gentleman has gone far beyond his allotted time.
They've chosen to put these people into poverty, to keep them into poverty year after year
The gentleman has far exceeded his time.
And yet they've chosen to have eight pay raises for members of Congress at the same time they've chosen to keep these people in poverty.
The time of the gentleman has long since
That's what
expired.
the Republican promise to Americans is. Hardworking Americans, you end up in poverty. I ask unanimous consent to take up H.R. 2429, the Fair Minimum Wage Act.
Under the guidelines consistently issued by successive speakers as recorded on page 734 of the House Rules Manual, the chair is constrained not to entertain the gentleman's request until it has been cleared by the bipartisan floor and committee leaderships.
Once again, the Republicans block a vote on the minimum wage.
The chair must ask all members to heed the gavel. The gentleman far exceeded his allotted time. For what purpose does the gentleman from New Jersey rise? The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, when